right, here we go.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob Triggs here from CRM Dynamics. Welcome to the webinar, Generating and Converting Leads from Your Website, from Social Media and CRM. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We've got on the line here Daryl and Jesse, who I'll introduce more formally in a minute. So Daryl, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Perfect.
I can, yeah.
So we'll just give some time for people to join here.
Well, again, maybe do you know any bad jokes, Rob?
No, I know lots of bad ones, no good ones. What about you?
I've got a new favorite. I've got a new favorite joke. I'm not sure if I even told it the last webinar we had. Rob, knock knock.
Who's there?
To.
To who?
To whom, Rob? It's to whom.
Are you an English major?
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That was bad.
It's pretty bad, eh? That's really bad. But my kids love it. My kids absolutely love the joke. They don't get it, but they just laugh every single time. So it's the winning one right now.
That's like the boo-hoo knock knock joke.
Yeah. It's true.
That's a classic.
Yeah, I've heard that one many times. Or what about my kid's favorite one is, what's brown and sticky?
I don't know. Afraid to ask.
A stick, Rob. It's just a stick.
That's pretty good. And my kids are growing up.
Oh, there you go. I know.
So I can't repeat the jokes they tell me.
Yeah, it's true.
At least here.
It's true. Perfect. Great.
So the numbers are climbing here as people log in. What time is it? 2 minutes after the hour, bottom of the hour. So let's maybe another 30 seconds here to reward the people that showed up on time, and I'm sure those who dial in will catch up with us.
Yeah. Everybody who arrived on time, you're going to get a free coffee from Jessie from Click to Mention. She will fly to your location and have a coffee with you. I'm pretty sure that's our offer today. Is that right, Rob?
I think that sounds great.
Congratulations, everyone. What a treat. A personal demo of Click Dimensions.
Yeah, wait till they find out where you live.
Yeah. I won't make all of you fly out to North Dakota, where my office is. I will come to you.
Hey, this time of year is nice.
There? They've got an airport in North Dakota? Oh, that's great. That's great.
Sure do.
And electricity, too.
We do. Electricity, airport, all the good stuff.
Wow, 2014 is a big year for you guys.
There's even a restaurant or two.
Wow, very cool. All right, cool. Well, we can get going here.
Yeah, let's get started. So welcome, everybody. If you have any questions at all, there's a little question window in the GoToWebinar box, the toolbar there. So please type your question in there, and we'll make sure we answer that as we go along. So again, my name is Rob Triggs. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing from our company, CRM Dynamics, and we're glad to host this webinar today. My focus for our customers is making sure that when they deploy CRM, Microsoft CRM, they have success, also along with our own sales and marketing plan and strategy and execution. And on the bottom there, I'm a proud dad. I've got 2 kids, Erica and Nick, and one's a drummer, and one just got a new job today, so it's nice to see one of them out of the house working, making some dough. So who are we? Who is CRM Dynamics? Quickly, we help companies successfully use Microsoft CRM. And most customers we do business with are using it for sales and marketing primarily, but more and more customers are using it for managing the customer support relationship. We're a 20-year-old company that has done CRM solutions for many years using the Microsoft platform for the last 10 years. We're based in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. We're gold certified by Microsoft. We have Canadian cloud hosted options for those who are interested in that. And we're very proud of the services that we wrap around our CRM implementations. A few of them are listed here. So digital marketing, outbound calling, and sales training. So I'd like to also formally introduce the other 2 people who are helping me present today, Jessie. So Jessie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Jessie Granlund. I'm a partner account manager for Click Dimensions, so my job every day is to demonstrate the power of marketing automation with CRM out of Fargo, North Dakota.
Great, thank you. And Daryl?
Great. Founder of Candy Box Marketing. We do social search marketing. We build websites that actually convert people into customers, which is quite a novel idea. As much as the internet's been around for a long time, companies are still having trouble, creating websites that communicate with their customers.
That's great. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let's focus on what we're going to cover. Today we're going to focus on teaching you or showing you how to generate and convert more leads from your website, from your social media channels, using digital presence, marketing automation, and lastly CRM. I just want to go a few slides before we jump in and set the scene. So one of the reasons why we're having a lot of success with this webinar, and we've done it a few times now, and everyone seems to be really interested in this topic, is because of this stat here. Many organizations like Gartner and Deloitte and things, and Forrester's and things like this, they are all telling us that your customers are most likely 57% of the way through the sales cycle for buying whatever you sell before they engage a salesperson, before they actually talk to someone from your company. And if what you sell is more complex, then that number jumps up to close to 70%. So this trend is alarming, and what it means is we need to take a look at our sales and marketing strategy to make sure that it's aligned with how the new customers are buying. And so the traditional marketing you typically see companies do, the traditional marketing and selling, is really starting to and has become really obsolete. We also like to say that the more traditional marketing and sales you throw at the modern consumer, the less satisfied they become. And the new customer doesn't want to see your traditional marketing, much less hear from your salespeople. And they'll engage the salesperson when they're ready, not the other way around. And it's funny, this is a great point. Many people make a sport out of avoiding salespeople. You might even do that yourself. I know when I go looking at cars, I like to look at cars on my own. I hate it when the guy comes out and talks to me until I'm ready. But that's what's happening out there. So I'd like you to use this, the next few slides, as a framework for the presentation today. And on the left-hand side of this slide over here on the left, this is what sales does. So sales is typically going and calling on customers and generating proposals and things like that. And they're using CRM. If you have CRM, they're typically using CRM to help manage companies and contacts, track appointments and other tasks and so on, everything that's listed here. All the things you would expect a Salesforce to do, these are the things that they're doing. And day in and day out, as a salesperson for a CRM company, we deal with this every day. But what's happening is on the right-hand side of this slide, these are the things that marketing are responsible for. So the website, making sure your website is set up properly, making sure you're leveraging social channels like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and so on. And so marketing is typically responsible for these things on the right-hand side. So over on the left, sales are making calls to customers. Over on the right, marketing is doing their thing in the digital space. Well, the problem that we're seeing is really this. If your customers are up to 70% of the way through the sales cycle before they actually engage a salesperson, then you've really got to make sure that this marketing piece, or the piece that marketing is responsible for, is working as effectively as it can. Because if it's not, you're just throwing customers away. And over on the left-hand side, salespeople are responsible for the lead management, proposals, forecasting, all those things that you would expect sales to do. When we visit with customers, many customers and companies, what we find is the connection between these two pieces, sales and marketing, is broken or really non-existent in some companies. And that's a really big problem, especially since this new trend in marketing. So the presentation today is focused on these three things. We're going to focus on digital presence first, and I'm going to ask Daryl to take us through that. Marketing automation, I'm going to ask Jesse to take us through that, and I'm going to wrap things up with CRM. So a little bit more of a formal introduction to Daryl, and we'll switch over to Daryl's presentation. But as Daryl said, founder of Candy Box Marketing, very focused on helping businesses generate new customers using social media marketing. So all those people that are shopping and thinking about doing business with you, Daryl's company is in the business to capture them and convert them. Okay, I'll let you read the rest of the slides on your own there. But what I'll do, Daryl, if you like, is change over to you so we can jump into your presentation.
I would like that. Thank you. Go for it. I'm ready to accept. There we go. Show my screen. And I just want to make sure I'm showing the right one. out of the two here. Perfect. I think, are you able to see a black screen build a presence?
Yep, we got it.
Perfect. Great. Thanks, Rob. So right now, we're going to be talking about a couple different things, but it's more about building just another website or another thing or initiative or landing page. It's really about building a web presence. And I'm going to go through this very quickly. Rob already went through my bio. I think my bio has been twice, since I'm not going to give you a third. But I'm very biased for digital marketing because I believe it works. I've worked in IT for a long time within marketing automation. I've done a lot of traditional marketing, and knowing that a lot of traditional marketing methods are getting less and less results over and over again, and digital, including search and social media, are continually on the rise. If we take a look about what our company does for people, and this is not just an advertisement, but I just got to show you where we're biased so that you can kind of understand where I'm going. So we're purely focused on lead generation, so just generating new leads for companies. We're a Google AdWords partner. That doesn't mean that Google pays or has sponsored us to mention them. Over a couple of years and millions of dollars in spending money with Google, they've sent me a beanbag chair, a pumpkin, and a Snuggie. And so I don't have really any reason to promote their services other than it works, except for the Snuggie. I think those things don't work at all. But anyway, so we're also social media experts. We've trained over 1,000 businesses over the last 3 years, and we really do everything up to when you get a lead, and then the CRM portion that Rob is going to talk about afterwards is where you start nurturing them. So we're all the way up to the point of saying, hey, we've captured somebody's data, and we're very excited. So what I'm going to go through here is, first I'm going to talk about the state of digital marketing. As a Canadian company, we really need to understand what's going out there in the marketplace, where people are spending their budgets. The second thing, I'm going to show you the difference between having a website and having a web presence. And most people, most companies will have websites, but web presences are a little bit further off. And then we're going to talk about content strategies and how content is both going to fuel your search and social media, and how that can actually drive people into your CRM. Rob, just for a quick time, I'm going to, is that 205, is that correct?
Yes, that's good.
Okay, perfect. 205. I just want to make sure I'm on par here. So, in regards to digital marketing, the stats are going nuts every single year. Right now, 93% of Canadians go online for product information. These are the people that are online. 88% of Canadians are online, and 70% are mobile on a daily basis. 20% of Canadians 20% of consumers generate online reviews, so that's 1/5 of your customers are talking about you. 62% of people buy products online. 64% are active on social media on a daily basis, and there's 4.8 billion searches per month on Google in Canada alone. And so, like, if we take a look at the stats year over year, they're just exploding. Right now, we just found out that people searching for insurance online has doubled in the last year. Not gone up by like 10 or 20%, but actually has doubled, which is shocking. We take a look at marketing budgets and where people are actually looking to increase, not just maintain or keep or anything, but increase marketing budgets. This is the trend year over year in Canadian businesses. The number one thing that companies are investing more in this year, 74% of companies have said yes, they're going to spend more in content marketing, which actually has to do both with search marketing and social marketing. Then SEO is number 2, search engine optimization. Number 3, mobile marketing, then email marketing, social media, video, and PPC. Now, you may kind of see these and understand, okay, well, it's more than half of people said they're increasing their budget. That's kind of normal. But as you can kind of see here, there's no traditional mediums here. Everybody's looking to produce more content, be found online, and be more mobile than they ever have been before. If we take a look at technology, what companies are looking to do in regards to investing in technology in their marketing, the number one thing, and this is not a stat that I got from CRM Dynamics, but number one thing is their CRM. We need to track people both for sales and even compliance these days. Analytics, we want to find out what is the effectiveness of our campaigns, email software, content management systems, conversion codes, automation, PPC. So as you can see, a lot of the same things are happening both on the marketing front and the technology front, where customers are spending, or companies are spending more in getting to know their customer better than they ever have before. We take a look at mobile marketing, And we, mobile marketing, it started, 10 years ago. That's almost when it started, but now it's almost in market maturity, where 50% of the average global mobile web users are now using a mobile device as their primary or exclusive means of going online. It becomes the #1 source that people are actually accessing your presence. Okay, so that means if you do not have a responsive, which means a mobile optimized site, it is equivalent of closing your doors and saying, hey, we're not open for business 1 business day per week, 20% of the time. I love to tell a story that I found out a while ago that my mother, who's now retired and living in a retirement community up north and all that stuff, and she got her an iPhone recently, which she was very happy about, and I found out after 30 years she switched banks, which meant that she switched investments, she switched her loan, she switched her actual checking, her savings, everything over to a bank. And I asked her why, and it was because the new bank had an app that she was able to deposit checks with, and the other one didn't, and so it saved her a 30-minute drive. Now that's a bit of a shocking stat, not just from a younger person or millennial making these decisions, but that's from a baby boomer switching over because one site worked on a mobile device and one site didn't, which is a little crazy. Last thing I want to show you is that mobile websites are also dead. So if you've got an m.your website, those websites popped up in I think it was early 2000. A lot of people had them. They were quick and easy to set up, but customers hate mobile websites because they don't actually have all the information that they're looking for. They'll usually decide to go over to the current website, the live website, even if it's a worse experience, because they know that they can get their information there. So we need to really change the way we have our web presence technology to be able to really help our customers buy what they're buying. Now, if we take a look at where this is bringing us to, it's bringing us to a very different type of marketer than we're used to, right? The old outbound marketer used to do one-way communication. We're trying to find people through traditional mediums, and we're really just pushing people to a point, saying, hey, here's your call to action, here's a call to action. If it's real estate, hey, buy a house from me, buy a house from me, and you just keep repeating it. And hopefully, at the time the person wants to convert, they choose you over somebody else. But now we're seeing a much different sophisticated customer, leading us to having to be more sophisticated marketers. So the new inbound marketer, it means that communication is 2 ways. Customers are coming to you. That's why it's called inbound. So they're coming in via search engines, referrals, social media. You're basically just there providing value, catching them, allowing them to find the products that they want to do, and really kind of either entertaining or educating the customer. As we go on here to what is inbound marketing, well, it's a lot of different components that are now making up the inbound marketing matrix. Things like infographics, right? Showing complex items with very simple images. Video is absolutely critical in online marketing to be able to help people look up different resources or learn about something. I think about the amount of times when I want to learn about a product or service. I recently bought a pair of glasses because of a YouTube video. I don't know if that's great or pathetic, but it was just part of the purchase process, and it helped me understand the product better. Landing pages, web pages dedicated to something in particular. So, as an example, if you're looking for a certain style of sunglasses and you don't want to go to a website just all about every single pair of sunglasses, then you've got to find it. You want to come to a dedicated page about the pair of sunglasses that you are interested in. Next thing is search engine marketing. If people are looking for you, do you have a search strategy to make sure that you're there? Social media. With inbound marketing, you're pulling the interest in, but you're also engaging with people on a regular basis to try to get information back and forth and build relationships. We're going to talk a little bit about that more later. And lastly, blogs, right? Blogs are articles that you can put out there that customers want to come to and get engaged with your content before they actually contact you. So all these components are part of what I would consider inbound marketing, where you're helping your customer walk through that purchase process online rather than offline. I love Rob's analogy earlier of Rob says that he hates car salesmen. Sorry, that maybe hate is a strong word. He dislikes the early adoption of car salesmen in his purchasing pattern. Let's just say that. And the reality is, The majority of people are in Rob's shoes. They don't want to walk out on the lot and say, hey, what do you got for me today? They're going to search for a car online. They're going to build and price it. They're going to look at YouTube videos of it. They're going to spin it around, change the color, choose all the options, print it out, and walk onto a car lot with that piece of paper in their hand and saying, this is the exact car that I want to buy. Our customer has changed, which means that we need to allow customers to do the build and price, to kick the tires before they ever speak to a salesperson. Now, looking at all these things, some people say, well, that's a lot of work. Well, like, is this even feasible? And looking at the stats in Canada, it is currently 62% less expensive to generate a new customer, a new lead, through inbound marketing than it is through outbound marketing. Okay? Because outbound marketing, you've got a lot of waste. You're hitting a lot of people with the same message, and very few people are actually interested in that message or even interested in it in that point of their life. You're going to hear stats around this a couple times today. We've got them each from different spots, but this one is from QuickSprout, and it says that customers are already 60% through the purchasing process by the time they speak to a sales rep. So I just want this to sink in. Okay, so 60% of your customers have already decided to go with you by the time they ever speak to you the first time, once. A lot of people say, hey, you know what, if we can speak to them, we can sell them. My challenge is, if you cannot sell them online, you will never speak to them. And we have to think about what our presence does to attract these people. Which brings us on to thinking about our website, our web presence. We encourage you to stop talking at your prospects and start talking with them. Take a look at the two differences in between a website and a web presence. A website is a collection of static pages, right, that allow a company, you can list your products, your services, and your contact information, right? Most corporate websites today are websites. They basically say, this is who we are, this is what we do, and call us. And that's it. You're just throwing out there. Imagine if Ford, for their vehicle lineup said, hey, we're Ford Canada, here's our dealers' locations, find them. Right? No build and price, no galleries. It would be a terrible consumer experience, and they wouldn't embrace the new customer's journey. Whereas a web presence is a collection of online communication mediums, including your website, social media, different search strategies, where your company can help your customer or prospect through their journey towards an end goal. So Rob is looking to buy a new Acura MDX, if they still make those ones. So if he's looking at an Acura MDX, Acura needs to have a web presence that helps Rob through the entire purchase decision, from building and price, consumer reviews, paint jobs, guarantees, warranties, and finally the dealer location. This is an entire journey that he needs to be on. Your web presence should also have these 5 goals at least on your website. You need to set up your goals before you set up, the single, a piece of your website. The first 3 things we need to think about our new prospects is, number 1, we want to attract traffic. Okay. Number 2, we want to engage visitors, and number 3, we want to convert those visitors. All right. And just like a good salesperson, ABC, always be closing. We've got to make sure we are attracting, we are engaging, we are converting. If we fall down in any one of these buckets, we are not going to have the person. If we can attract them to the site, we engage them, but then we never get their commitment in some way or another, whether it's visiting a store or calling a number or submitting their information or buying that product, it is all but lost. Then we also want people to share our content. People always forget about this, where if we get people onto our website, we don't just want them on their website, we want their friends and family and everybody within their network on our site. So we want to make it shareable. And last thing is, we always want to make it functional for our current customers. So not just a sales site, but to make sure that our current customers have a great experience and become repeat customers. Now, onto each different section here. The first thing in regards to attraction is there's 2 major sources that people are going to come to your website through. This is search engines and social media. Search, social, these both need to be part of your plan. So you got to make sure, like, number 1, you're optimized for search engines. You're offering quality content. Search engines have changed their algorithm. I can't get into a ton of that today, but they've changed their algorithm, and this stuff has changed where we've got to do quality content rather than just masses of content. My question to you is, if you make the best website in the world, but no one ever visits it, was it a successful site? I would say no. You've got to make sure you're attracting the traffic. And my question for you to take back and think about is, how much quality traffic is your web presence attracting? Are you tracking what's quality and what is good quality and what is poor quality? Next thing is engaging. When they get to your site, you've got to make it about them, right? So people are going to get to know you, but they need to find out what they are looking for. You want visitors to engage in conversation. You want to meet their needs. You want them to engage with what you're saying and making sure that they're finding their way through their journey. Here's a quick point at the end. Ugly sites are not engaging. They're just embarrassing. We judge everybody else by the design of the website, and then we look at ours and say, well, we're more than just a website. But people judge you based off of your web presence. Third thing is engaging sites are more dynamic. So if you've got a static site that just never changes, so it's just the same thing over and over again, so the site to the right, this is a brand that we recently redid, which is Meccano. It's a very old toy, 150-year-old toy actually, and nothing ever changed on the site, right? It was one-way communication. They were just telling people what they did. It's not favored by Google. It was built out of Flash. It was there. Like, it was just a brand page, and so nobody really visited this website. Now, if we look at dynamic content, what we did was we took this web and we converted it into a 100% dynamic website where people could submit their own builds, vote on stuff, share different builds, discuss things, read the news, comment, have a members listing, so that we made it much more about the customer than about us. The results, and I can't give you the numbers, but it's the first time this brand has ever engaged their users in 150 years, right? Well, obviously, since the birth of the internet, and they now have a growing database of believers that are sharing and discussing Meccano products worldwide all the time. Okay, so that's how we make it more engaging. This is another example, right? So this is a summer camp, and they do about $60 million a year worth of summer camp activities. And what we did was we basically made the entire website, the homepage, dynamic, so that from the images to the messages to the videos, everything was always new, and they got a ton of traffic on it to their customers. If I break this down, what does it mean to have a dynamic site? If you see the elements on the left, we highlighted them in red. It meant that we have top banners that they switch often, right? The dynamic. We've got dynamic video, dynamic hero statements, dynamic calls to action, dynamic testimonials, dynamic news, social media pulling here. It is no longer about the one statement that you can say to your customer. It is about the many statements and conversations that we can have with people over time. Now we take a look at them versus their competitor. We've got all the same information but laid out differently. Which camp do you want to send your kids to? With a little bit of design and interactivity, obviously most people, and I hope most people, would say, yes, I would want to send my kid to the camp on the left. Why? It's just a perception. More dynamic content, relevant information, better design equals a higher conversion ratio. Now this brings us to discussing a little bit more about what a traditional website is and how you can plan for a better website. So a traditional website looks like this. Okay, so you got your home page, about us, your team, product, services, resource, contact us, and you're praying, you're hoping, you're wishing, you're planning that people go through the contact us button. Please go through the contact us button, where if people want to go and contact you, the stat is that only 1 out of 10 people will actually use that button. Okay, so it's very low. Now, a lead converting website, instead of talking about you, we engage people in what they are looking for. So let's just say if we're selling insurance. At the first landing page, we have a landing page dedicated to auto insurance, all about it, and then give them a response to do with auto insurance. Same thing with home, same thing with business. We now start seeing we're building a tree, a hierarchy of moving people through a process rather than just spitting them all into the same contact page. Okay? We've also see here we've got an integrated blog, right, where you can have many different articles coming out over time with dynamic content leading people to your calls to action, to your products, to your services, to your events, whatever you're trying to promote. You now have a dynamic site that you can launch articles all the time. Okay, this is a little bit more complex, but it is what is working with companies today. If we take a look at response mechanisms, 9 out of 10 people, so the reverse of the last stat, 9 out of 10 people are willing to submit their personal information for a downloadable product or information. So we could call that a price list, an ebook, a certain video, something, a digital asset typically that the person finds valuable. People are willing to submit their information to it. All right. Now, once we've done that, now we need to think about converting people, and it is really not as easy as it looks. We spend our entire business looking at conversion rates and trying to increase them for customers so that we get a better response for our clients. And here's just a couple very key things, and I'm going to show you a diagram just on the next page here that's really going to show you the magic behind converting people. First thing is we've got to present a clear call to action, right? We're giving users an action that they want to take. And so if we're looking to get them into an auto insurance policy, we say get a quote. We allow them to connect with us. We've got to be converting. Now, this is what it looks like to have a high conversion ratio. You've got two different things here that we're playing with. One thing is our customer intent on the left side, and on the right side we've got your web page offering. All right? If the web page offering and customer intent barely overlap, which means that you're not relevant to what they're looking for, you are going to have a tiny conversion ratio. Case in point, just going back to insurance for a second, somebody's looking for an auto insurance quote, okay, that's their intent, and you give them an offer to say, hey, phone our phone number and get a quote, and it's going to take you 2 hours. That's, you're barely covering their intent. Their intent was to get it online, and so you're only going to have a 1% conversion ratio. But in a lead converting website, if you have a web page that's very close to your customer intent, so for example, it's saying, okay, listen, you want a quote, here is the quote, you can get a much higher conversion ratio. It's simple, but it's very effective to be able to figure this out from the beginning of a web project. I always say thing to remember is it is more important where you're bringing your customer to rather than where you're bringing them from. Okay, so it's not just about traffic, it's about how we treat people. So overall, here's 4 different conversion tactics that we recommend to companies. Contact us options. Give them multiple ways to roam. Phone, email, chat, text, anything that would make sense for your customer, give it to them. Facebook, Twitter, doesn't matter. If they feel very comfortable on Twitter and to tweet you, that's great. Number 2, give them downloadable resources, which I talked about. Number 3, social connections. Provide your social connections on your website so that they can interact with you. Multiple calls to action. Give them a number of different things that they can click on rather than just giving them one simple one. Next thing is becoming shareable. You want to make sure that that you're personal, it's easy to share stuff, that you've got blog articles that look like this where you can just, you're speaking to your customer, they can click a button to share your content, and you're even asking them to participate on your website. A couple of cases that we have that have proven this model. First, an insurance company, we moved them from a 1% conversion rate to a 55% conversion rate overnight. Our retail company, we moved from a 1% conversion rate to 9% overnight just through Google advertising and a Facebook community. An air conditioning company that we dealt with inbound marketing, they were spending $280,000 a year in Yellow Pages, and they spent $36K in Google advertising and increased the revenue 6-fold. So there's a lot of different examples here. I'm not going to bore you with them, but there's great results in digital marketing. Now the last thing to go through, and I don't have any time left, but I'm going to go through this in just a few minutes here, is content strategies, right? And we say you don't not have time to produce good content online. And this comes through blogs, it comes social networks, email newsletters, landing pages, graphics, videos. There's a lot of different things that you can publish in content, but instead of being overwhelmed, realize that sometimes these pieces of content are just being pushed through different mediums. So you've got your blog about something, but you also push it out in your social network, you push it out in your email newsletters, and you've got associated landing pages. Now, content is critical here because content is the first step in engaging people online, right? This is blogs, tweets, posts, whatever you have it. It's a first step. And content's entire job is to build conversations. Conversations are like comments, shares, likes, those things that people are going back and forth. And conversations, over time, build relationships, two-way relationships that you're developing with your customer because of the conversation, and we know that relationships create revenue. This is how content marketing works. If you go straight from content directly to revenue, so you just post out a tweet and saying, buy now, I call it social prostitution. You want all the goods, you want to pay for it, but you don't want any relationship, and this type of marketing doesn't work. Your content produces conversations, conversations, relationships, relationships, revenue. All right, now we take a look at what does this look like for a business. Let's just say if you're in the boat insurance space, okay, so you launch a blog on boat care. You post it on social media, on LinkedIn. Then somebody decides to comment on it, a mutual connection, and they start discussing the article about boat care. Then you're established as an expert in their mind. 6 months later, they need insurance, and they send you a direct message with questions because in their mind, you have a relationship with them about boat insurance and boat care. Okay, so it's not always a direct path from beginning to end, and that's why we need CRM systems, and we need to be able to track this to be able to understand what our lead path looks like over time. Now, why are we, pushing out content on a regular basis to people? Well, number one, people love content. People consume more every single year. They're doing research, they're Googling stuff, they're reading blog articles, and they have conversations around content. They don't have conversations around static web pages. Secondly, it's always good to publish yourself. As people are Googling you and trying to find you and interact with you, you need to publish if you're going to be seen as an expert. Third, you want to become social, right? And social media doesn't work without content strategy. A Twitter feed without links is a very sad thing to have. And so we've got to become social. And the last thing is search engines love new, fresh content. So publishing this content on a regular basis is going to give them reason to send more traffic to you. Okay. Last thing is testimonials. Testimonials are some of the best content you can get on the web. How are you embracing and endorsing and sending out testimonials, video testimonials, picture testimonials to help your customer recognize with fellow customers when they come to your product? They don't trust your product just because you say trust us, right? You've got biased opinions. But when you have some unbiased quotes on your website with pictures and real people, all of a sudden it looks fantastic. All right, so in the end here we've got, this is really the architecture we've been talking about for lead generation. So you've got your search, your SEO, your SEM, your social media. All these items are pushing down to a lead converting website that helps people through the purchasing process and then finally off to a goal. And at that point, this is where your CRM system is critical for taking over, because once you've got a lead and you've paid for that lead, you need to make sure that you can nurture them all the way through to a sale and through the customer life cycle. And so with that, I'm going to pass it off for the guys at Microsoft CRM Dynamics and Click Dimensions to talk about how you can now nurture these new people into profitable sales.
Okay, thanks, Daryl. So I'll pass the reins to you, Jesse. You can jump right in. So
all right,
Jesse's
can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Okay. And let me know when you're able to see my screen here.
Got it.
Okay, great. So thank you guys for the introduction, and hello everyone. I'm excited to be able to talk to you guys today about the convergence of CRM and marketing automation with Click Dimensions. I'm going to jump right into my agenda here and first talk about some facts that you may not already know about buyers, your prospects. And Daryl covered some of this. I'm going to answer the question, who is the modern marketer? And the last part of my presentation, I'm going to talk through some ways that Click Dimensions helps marketers send personal, relevant, and targeted lead-generating email campaigns. Of course, I don't have enough time to show you everything today, but certainly going to show you some of the exciting features that Microsoft Dynamics CRM and Click Dimensions can provide for your business. So let's start with some facts about marketing and customer relationship management in general. And this first one you've heard from Rob, you've heard from Daryl, but I guess third time's the charm, right? But marketers have to be aware today that buyers are anywhere from 60 to 90% of the way through the buying process before they even reach out to you. And that might seem a bit high, but when, you know, what you've been hearing in this presentation is that in today's world, it's about instantaneous information and self-serving content, and this really does make complete sense today. This next stat says that 50% of qualified leads are not ready to purchase immediately. So this really tells me two things, and it should tell us that marketing's definition of a qualified lead is slightly different than the sales terminology. Also that there needs to be a better way of kicking underqualified leads back over to marketing for additional nurturing and qualification. And so that brings me to the last point here, that companies that excel at lead nurturing generate 50% more sales-ready leads at 33% lower cost. So these statistics are proof today that we're past the days of marketing based solely upon gut instincts and charismatic campaigns, and it tells us that marketing is a science, and the biggest asset in a modern marketer's toolbox is the ability to use technologies like CRM and marketing automation together to have a refined process that generates hard numbers and real sales results. So let's talk a bit about the modern marketer. Because today we're without a doubt experiencing a new age of marketing, led by a new breed of marketers using a new set of marketing tools. The modern marketer today is so tuned into what they want to use for marketing technology that they often have earmarks in the IT budget. Today's marketer is a power user of technology tools like CRM and BI tools and data systems, and they're tracking and maintaining record of every interaction to fully report on ROI. And in their world, it's about generating and qualifying and nurturing prospects and closing opportunities, and being able to provide an analysis of metrics that actually matter so they can make dollars and cents out of the data. So the big question here is, how can you do this? How can you join us in this new age of marketing? And here's your answer. You really have to be embracing technology. So ClickDimensions is a closed-loop email marketing and marketing automation solution that sits right inside of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. And this slide I'd like to start out with because it really shows the breadth of functionality that you have at your fingertips using this application. You will have the ability to do things like create and send trackable email campaigns to lists of leads and contacts in CRM. You're able to track all of your customers and your prospects' interaction with those campaigns so you can quickly take action. You're able to track web visits, so find out what brought each visitor to your website and where they go when they get there. You can build web content like web forms and surveys with real-time feedback, and even landing pages that you can use to promote your events, like Daryl was talking about, or your content, all while capturing the leads and conversions right inside CRM. You can do things like build multi-touch drip marketing campaigns with ClickDimensions. We have a lead scoring component, and all of these functions are working together to provide you full marketing automation, really helping to bridge the gap between your marketing activities and your sales results. And as a side note, if you're a GoToWebinar user, you're a WebEx user, or Eventbrite user, we also have integrations with those webinar and event platforms. I'm not going to get to show that today, but please connect with us after the call and I'd be happy to show you what that looks like. All right, so this is a really important concept, and it's what we're hearing from a lot of companies out there today. A lot of companies that we're consulting with are saying, you know what, Jesse, we're using Microsoft Dynamics CRM to manage our customer accounts and our marketing lists and our contact records. We're over here using something completely different for email. We're using a different application for surveys, something different for forms, website analytics, and social, and nothing talks to one another. So that's really what we do at ClickDimensions, is we bring all of that data and all that functionality into one central place that sits right inside of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So we're really solving that problem for marketers. And the way that the solution works is it's built on Windows Azure. It connects to the websites through tracking scripts, connects to the recipient's inboxes with email, and that data coming back in, all of your web activity, all of your email activity, instead of holding that data up in the cloud, all of that will be pushed right back into CRM for you. You're not managing data in two separate databases. It all resides right inside Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So if you're using Dynamics CRM, you're able to use those native features that you've invested in, workflow and dashboarding and querying and reporting, and you can really get the data to do whatever you ask it to do. You're not in a situation where it's living in another database and inaccessible. So let's get into more detail here about creating an effective email marketing campaign. Email marketing is really the perfect way to showcase your products to your partners and prospects and customers, and one of the first things to consider is list management. So CRM has all the data about your contacts and your accounts, and also provides you the ability to create lists based on about any criteria you can think of for very targeted, segmented list management. And organizations that are most successful with their email marketing are companies that send out regular communications to their opt-in lists, and that's very important. Regular communications to your opt-in list. So maybe you have a monthly newsletter, regular updates on events or trade shows, your weekly sales flyers, whatever the case may be, but figure out early on what mailers you're going to be sending out and allow your recipients to opt into those mailers. So I'm going to jump right into the solution here. Click Dimensions just sits inside of Dynamics CRM. We had a number of marketing components here, so the email marketing, web analytics, all your forms and surveys, so all self-contained within the Click Dimensions section. So as we're talking about list management, I'm going to jump right into one of the editors here. You have the ability to create emails, of course, with editors that live inside CRM. Within all these editors, you can bring in unsubscribe links, but you can also build a subscription management page. And this is where the solution allows you to build your regular lists, map those lists to CRM marketing lists, and as your recipients are updating their preferences, their contact records in CRM are also being updated, and you're always, as a marketer, having the most updated, relevant marketing lists assigned to each email send. So hopefully this is leading you to wondering, if this solution can help with CASL compliancy. Yes, absolutely. Call us. Rob and his team at CRM Dynamics are CASL compliance with CRM and Click Dimensions gurus. We've helped other companies, and we can certainly help you. So just kind of going back to the email creation topic, we give you lots of tools for email. A drag and drop designer, a block editor, we've got a freestyle WYSIWYG environment, and also custom HTML. So this is where you can go into the design mode to build your email. If you'd like to work in HTML, you can certainly do that. You can merge any attributes from your lead, contact, or account records right into the emails here. That's our freestyle WYSIWYG. We've got a block editing environment. We've got drag and drop, which automatically places those responsive design tags right into the email template for you, so you don't have to worry about that as a marketer. So lots of tools for non-technical marketers to build an email and easily send it out. We've also got all the reporting needs right inside CRM. So you're creating your email in CRM, and you just come right back to this email send record within CRM to see the performance of your email. This is our July, Click Dimensions July newsletter send. And then if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll be able to see overall performance of that email. So how many people it was sent to. You can see the unique interactions with that email. You can see deliverability scores, hard bounces, soft bounces, so all of that recorded right in CRM. We've got heat maps. This is one of my favorite reports, and really a user favorite, because you can see an overlay of statistics on how the content is trending. So the way you'd read this is 14.25% of overall clicks were here on this link, and as you scroll down, it's just a really nice consumable way of seeing the clicks. And you can take that a step further. So the reporting is really endless with this application, but you can pull an email click report which shows every URL in the email, and you can see by unique clicks and total clicks how many interactions with that particular link. And diving deeper into it, you can even generate a sub-report that shows you every contact and every lead that interacted with that. So, of course, you've got the email creation, you've got the reporting, all of that happens in CRM. Maybe you want to build a drip marketing campaign using our Nurture Builder. Very easy to do with CRM and Click Dimensions. With this application, you've got all of these tasks out of the box. You can use this campaign builder. So, maybe you're trying to, I guess the way that I like to look at nurture is you have a prospect that's not quite sales ready, but you want to keep the message in front of them and let the appropriate person know when they begin responding to your campaign. So again, this is the campaign builder. Let's just send email number 1. This is where you attach the template you've built. You can put it, oops, excuse me, you can put a wait condition in there and say maybe after 2 days or after 1 week, whatever is appropriate here. You can ask, how is this prospect interacting with the email? Have they clicked on the link that we wanted them to? And then it'll drop into yes or no. So if yes, let's assign this to a salesperson to get in touch with them right away, or let's notify a team. We can add them to a marketing list. If no response to email number 1, let's send email number 2. We can try to catch their attention a different way. Put another wait condition on there. Say have they even opened the email. So you get the idea here. You can bring this nurture on for whatever length of time you'd like. And once you associate this to a marketing list, these people get brought in from step 1 and they're essentially on autopilot. So this is really set it and forget it. You might have 300 people within your marketing list within this nurture campaign, all at different phases depending on how they're interacting. So very, very powerful way to set up a drip marketing campaign using Click Dimensions. So I know I'm going through this really quickly, but with a few minutes left, I last want to talk about web content. So I mentioned earlier you can build web content with Click Dimensions, landing pages, forms, and surveys. I'm just going to pull up a landing page here. And let's talk about landing pages for a moment. So all marketers need to generate leads, right? So why not create and publish landing pages for every possible occasion to capture new leads so you can nurture them until they buy? Landing pages in general are designed to give your visitors more information on a very specific topic and inviting them to take a call to action, like downloading a white paper or perhaps a catalog, registering for an event, submitting a form, making a purchase, could be a number of things. So with this application, instead of calling in a web developer to build a separate page on your website, right inside a CRM using Click Dimensions, you can build a landing page with the same designers that we give you for email, from the easy wizard base designer to custom HTML, whatever your preference. And when you're clicking embed on this landing page after you've designed this, you have the ability to add this landing page right on your website as an iframe or embed it with a link. Share this with your social media networks to broaden its reach. We also report on page views. We track the form conversions right inside CRM. This Click Dimension, this is a Click Dimensions form right here. So you first create your form, you generate post actions with this, so when someone downloads this quick guide, for instance, an email is being sent to the salesperson, and the person that actually downloaded this ebook gets an email with a link to that download. So, and then what also happens is this contact who fills out the form is added to a marketing list, and that marketing list is automatically placing any contacts in it into a nurture. So cross-promoting other pieces of content, engaging our team with them. So true marketing automation right there. So one thing I didn't talk about is, and I think I have a few minutes to just quickly mention it, is our web analytics. So with Click Dimensions, we've got this web tracking platform, and it does more than like a Google Analytics would. They do a really good job of demographic information on your website, tracking and giving you those great reports. But what Click Dimensions will do is it'll tie individual visits back to, visits back to individual leads and contacts in CRM. So you're able to see that Rob Triggs visited your website 6 different times in the last 2 months, and exactly what pages that he looked at on those visits. So as a salesperson, this is also a very valuable tool. It's not just a marketing tool, this is a sales tool. There's really something for everyone. So I always like to start stop where I start with my presentations, because there's so much within this product, and I really was able to show just a small piece today. So obviously covered just a fraction of this. So we'd love to talk to each and every one of you individually to show you how you can build a connected process for generating and managing leads. So feel free to connect with us to learn more about this. And with that, I'm going to pass it right back to Rob.
All right, thanks, Jesse. Yeah, so we're going through a ton of content today, everybody, and if there's anything that really triggers your interest based on what your business requires, you're more than welcome to request some more time for any one of the, or more than one of the solutions. So I'm just going to wrap up with this. So we talked about digital presence. Daryl did a great job of letting you know how that should function in the new modern way. Jesse just finished talking about marketing automation, specifically click dimensions, and I'm just going to wrap up with CRM, which is what we do. So if you look on the left here, this funnel, so Daryl talked about sort of this new modern sales funnel, and it really does begin with that social digital presence, and this is an example of some of those things, and then driving those people through a structured process or even a traditional funnel. So what we like to say is we like to take this world of the way sales are running today on the left and turn it into something that we're more familiar, especially those in sales, a more predictable, committed sales forecast that we rely our salespeople to do. And so with Microsoft CRM, it's all about tying your systems together to make that happen. And when you do, it really gives marketing and sales and customer care the tools and the processes they need to be as effective and efficient as they can be. If you do work on the sales and marketing side of things, we like to call bridging sales and marketing closer together smarketing. And if you're able to put these things into action, you can actually sell more, win more often, and drive results. Some customers are seeing a huge increase in adoption with the new ways that CRM has matured. 2, 3, even 4 years ago, CRM was really a bad 3-letter word, and today it's not so much anymore. It's the products, both Microsoft and some of the others that are on the market, have matured, and it really is now a usable tool that you cannot ignore. So why does the Microsoft platform drive adoption and accelerate sales? Really these 4 main buckets. It works right out of Outlook. Sales and marketing processes are baked into the tool. It supports the way your people do their jobs, so it helps them do their jobs. And it's very simple to use with Microsoft-like navigation, and it works standard on all your mobile platforms. And I'm going to skim through this stuff pretty quickly. If anyone wants more in-depth CRM overview, I can do that, but I'm just going to skim through high level just to give you a flavor. So working from Outlook, this screen looks pretty familiar, I'm sure. This is your Outlook inbox and the menu down the left-hand side. If you install Microsoft Dynamics, you end up with the additional set of features from the CRM right in your Outlook client. What that enables you to do is enables you to do your work right from your Outlook client. The navigation is simple. The new version of Microsoft, some of you on the line actually have Microsoft looking at your file, and some of you don't. And if you do have Microsoft, you're probably used to looking at a different screen. The new navigation now, what it does is it has this menu at the top. So if I want to look at, say I want to look at accounts, I click on accounts, and my account screen pops up at the bottom here, and from this screen I can see everything. I can see all the account information I need to see. It might even be tied into my financial system, so I can see if they're overdue payments or whatever. And as soon as I let go of the button, that top toolbar goes away, and it relieves the real estate for the screen. So now all that I've got the entire screen now to see the information. Now I've got this on a pretty small setting, so it looks small, but on your device it looks great. The other thing that it does, it gives you the ability to have dashboards and charts. So using the Microsoft reporting features, any data that is brought into CRM, either from tying it into your existing systems or from someone inputting the information into CRM, you can chart and put those charts on a dashboard. So I'm showing things like a traditional pipeline here, activities by salesperson, the leads that have been converted, but even marketing dashboards. Because Click Dimensions sits inside of the CRM, any of the activities that happen in Click Dimensions, I can create a chart and monitor what's happening. So I've got web forms that have been filled in by day, the leads coming in from the website by month, revenue by campaign, as an example of what you can do. So as an executive of a company, when you want to know what's really happening in the business, you can set your CRM up tied to your web and to your marketing automation tool using Click Dimensions to really have a view of what's happening. You can also bake sales process right in the CRM. So gone are the days where you spend a fortune on sales training, bring everybody in for sales training for a day or even more, and they go back to the field and they just, over the next couple of weeks, go back to doing sales the way they've always done it. What we do is we take the sales training you've already invested in and we bake a lot of that into your CRM so that every day the salespeople are using those new skills and they don't forget them. The ability to use the mobile devices is a standard feature on the Microsoft platform, and it doesn't come at an additional cost. It comes with your license. Forecasting is one of the key functions people ask us for. So you can see here on the left-hand side, you have the all of the deals that are forecasted for the month or the quarter. And then when I click on one of the bars, so let's say I want to see the deals that are in this bottom piece of the funnel, the ones that are at the very last stage of the sales cycle. When I click on that, it just shows me those deals. So I can drill down into that chart. And this is true for any chart that you create. So you can see what where that chart is coming from, what's driving that chart. This is another example of something that we often do on our sales process implementations, days at sales stage, so showing an opportunity that maybe has stalled. And this is another example of accounts and contacts with inactivity. This is one that most customers like because a salesperson might have 100 to 200 accounts in their territory, and when there's accounts with inactivity over a certain number of days that you can set, it'll alert you to let you know that hey, you're not covering that account. Multi-point mapping is an example of taking a business process. So let's say lease expiries. So if you have equipment that's leased, we can set it up so that it'll show all of the leases that are expiring, say in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. 30 days can be red, meaning hey, it's expiring really soon. We've got to get in there. The yellow ones are 60 days, and the green ones are 90 days. And you can set this up for any business process. It doesn't have to be lease expiries. It could be, accounts that haven't had a visit in a year. It can be customers that have just purchased or someone that's just returned something. Whatever business process you have, we can use this mapping utility to show you where those people are. The other thing that's coming is social listening. So launching in the fall for Microsoft is social listening, the ability to listen to social channels for the key words and phrases that drive your customers. So if you're selling cars and someone's on their Facebook account and they say, I wish I had a new car. If you put the search term, wish I had a new car, it'll find that and bring that back to your CRM, and you can now start doing something about that. So social listening is a very cool tool. We also have modules that we plug in for customers to make CRM much more effective and easier to use, and then we wrap services around it. So we don't just set it up and leave it. We actually wrap services around it to make sure you get true value out of your CRM implementation. Everyone's sort of heard of this Canadian anti-spam law that took effect July 1st, and we have an implementation for that. So if you don't already have a Canadian anti-spam law strategy and a tool to support your business, we have a configuration to plug into Microsoft CRM for that. If you don't abide by the law, it's $10 million fine for the organization and $1 million for individuals. So it's something to pay attention to. And this is really high level how it works really quickly. So if you send an email communication out to somebody and using Click Dimensions, we use Click Dimensions obviously, and down at the bottom you have your subscription preferences. So when you send that out asking for Castle permission, they have the option to click what types of communication they'd like. So the 4 that we've picked is newsletters, event invitations, product updates, and promotions. So if you wanted to give our company permission for all 4 of those things, you would give me permission, and it goes right into the contact record of CRM for this person's record, and it says that the Castle permissions have been updated on this date. Okay, and so that's how that works. If I go to send an outbound campaign and I accidentally include that person, Click Dimensions monitors that and it says, hey, wait a minute, you wanted to send this to 333 people, and 800 of those have opted out. They don't want to receive this, so we're going to remove those and only send 2482. So it's really foolproof, and that's CRM working together with Click Dimensions to make sure you're safe. You don't get that $10 million fine. Then there's an audit trail. So if someone complains and says, hey, I didn't give you permission to send me this, you can go back and say, well, actually you did. Back in September 20th of 2013 at 6 p.m., you gave us permission to send you information. And so then you're covered. You've got the report. So to wrap up, what we talked about is we talked about digital presence and marketing, managing that. We talked about marketing automation as a tool that connects the 2 pieces together, and CRM that brings it all together. And I'm going to pause here and ask if there's any questions at all. I didn't see any come through the chat, so I'll leave that open. Any questions? And if Daryl and Jesse, you guys want to come back online, really, you've got 3 people here that are experts in their areas. Jesse at marketing automation, Daryl and his company at Digital Presence, and myself and our company at CRM. When you put these three things together, you have a very robust business development tool and system and process. Some of you may have one piece, not the other. Some of you may not have any of it. Some of you may have all of it, and it's not working very well. So we invite you to connect with us through our social channels, either Twitter or through email, or give us a call. Visit our websites. We are offering a free analysis of your business process. So if you wanted to take a look at that diagram I was showing you to see how your company stacks up, we've got people on the CRM side, on our side, that can do that. We also have different content available. There's other webinars that we do, some specifically on marketing automation or digital presence or CRM specifically. We have ebooks and different things that we can provide to you to help you. And I'll stop there and ask if there's any questions. Please put them in the chat window. And Daryl and Jesse, if you have anything, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm good. Yeah, here to answer any questions that people have. So, yeah, it was great. Thank you everyone so much for spending your hour with us today. We appreciate it, and feel free to always just reach out to any of us. And social media, we are all there. So,
yeah, that's great. And Jesse, anything?
I think I'm good.
Okay, great. Okay, we don't have any questions coming in on the chat window, so I'm going to wish everybody a great day. And if you need to get a hold of us at all of you have my email address because of the invitation, so you're welcome just to respond to that if you like. Or if you want to go right directly to Daryl or Jesse, there's their contact information, and I'll leave that up for a little bit longer. And wish everyone a great day. Stay warm.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, everyone.